My grandmother used to play golf in Poshak, in Rajasthan attire.
Oh.
Yeah, she was married to an army officer.
In her traditional
yeah,
attire?
she used to. And she used to play with foreign ladies that time. And they used to tell her that how can you play in that? She used to say कि आपकी और मेरी ड्रेस में सिर्फ इतना अंतर है, आपकी नीज से ऊपर है, मेरी नीज से नीचे है. So it's about who you are. Doesn't matter where you come from. अगर राजपूत कम्युनिटी का कल्चर नहीं होता, इतनी मूवीज़ राजपूत ओरिएंटेड क्यों होती? You know, they've been taking our culture, they've been following how we dress up, they've been following the way we celebrate our rituals.
How do you feel being born as a Rajput woman?
Oh, it's a blessing. Not everyone gets a chance to be born as a Rajput. We are a warrior community. It is in our blood. I feel blessed that I am born in a community where there's a lot to look forward to, a lot to get inspired from. I'll be happy if I get birth again in the same community. It's a blessing.
There are some people who spread vibrance and color, and I've been following Tripti Singh for just about that. The kind of stuff she adorns, the way she swirls, the way she brings in the element of positivity and smiles and tradition and Ghoomar. I'm so happy to welcome you. The Rajput is here, let me tell you. And Tripti, I have been wanting to call you for Second Act Podcast for a long time. And then, of course, I was wanting to see all your work. So I have stalked you literally. I have seen the way that you really move around with those traditional costumes, the way that you're helping other women to twirl as well. So this is an important podcast for all women because there's so much that will come out of this and Tripti's journey. So welcome, Tripti.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet you out of Facebook. And
I know, we went to Facebook, right?
Yes, and it's wonderful to be with you.
Okay, thank you so much. So Tripti is a heritage evangelist, as she calls her,
yes.
right? She is the founder for Ghoomar, which is a traditional folk dance from Rajasthan.
Yeah.
Is it a folk dance?
Yeah, it's it's Ghoomar, Twirl with grace. Ghoomar has been there. I mean, it's been there for ages.
Okay.
So I cannot take credit of Ghoomar, but yes, Ghoomar, Twirl with grace is something which we created in 2016.
All right. And you also do something with the kids and the parents. You have a community of online where they come together, share all their problems. And you are that sutradhar in between to say, hey, hang on, I hear you. I also hear you. So you're a deep listener there.
So it is between parents and school. It is a forum on Gurgaon Parents for Better Education, where we talk about what is happening in education, and if parents are seeking any advice for admissions or exams or some schools. So it's a platform to go to, and members they're very kind enough to share their journey and ups and downs they had with a particular kind of school. So yes, it's a beautiful place to connect with parents.
आपको पता है कि कोई अपने किसी को जब कुछ बताता है तो क्यों बताता है?
Maybe it's because of their experience, what they've been through, and
नहीं, आपको क्यों बताएंगे? मुझे क्यों नहीं बताएंगे?
Probably I'm the admin of that.
No, because you give them that deep listening and a kind ear and that compassion and of course the understanding and empathy which comes in. And so if you start that, of course you have to also build that community because of the trust that you have built around it. So congratulations for that. It's such an important tool.
So much. Thank you. It takes a lot of time and your hard work to create a trust between two people, and it takes seconds to break it. So I always believe that take your time, don't try to break anyone's trust, because that's heartbreaking.
चलो फिर शुरू करते हैं आपकी जर्नी. आप बताओ तृप्ति कौन है?
तृप्ति बहुत ही छोटे से शहर बीकानेर से है, जो राजस्थान में है और हम उसको एशिया का बिगेस्ट विलेज कहते हैं. And I was born in jungle actually, and it's a place near Sindhrath, which is Mount Abu, सिरोही के पास में आता है. And from there because my parents used to stay there, and then I moved to Bikaner where my grandparents and other family member used to stay. So I was born and brought up in Rajasthan. So entire my life before marriage was if I say my entire world was Rajasthan. Rajasthan के बाहर में hardly I've been out. So I'm a hardcore Rajasthani. I call myself very proudly that I'm a brand ambassador of Rajasthan.
And why not?
And I feel proud in that. I share my culture, my heritage, whoever come across and whoever want to learn about it. Very so nice. I am happy Rajasthani person.
Very nice. But you do a lot of work around the traditional dance form that you said. वो आइडिया कहाँ से आया, फिर आपने कैसे सिखाना शुरू किया? Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, राजपूतों में घूमर नया नहीं है. We have been doing घूमर from our childhood. We have seen our mothers, बुआ, दादी, everyone dancing during our festivals or weddings or functions. But क्योंकि हम लोग migrate हो गए राजस्थान से because of our jobs and kids' education, we miss that part, you know. But there are so many people from Rajasthan living in NCR. And yeah, there
now
are
that you have a community, you would know.
Yes, and वो मुझे भी नहीं पता था पहले. So before 2016, I shared couple of times on my Facebook timeline that can we meet for a get together, you know. So कुछ ladies ने हाँ बोला चलो मिलते हैं. So we thought कि let's do a get together, simple. हमने तब तक एक छोटी लेडीज़ की कम्युनिटी बना ली थी कि चलो मिलें, बात करें and let's enjoy, because you always miss that dressing up and dancing and all. So few of us we gathered and we planned कि let's plan a dance form. So how do we go about it? Should we keep it very very selective to Rajput community? मन में ये लगा कि selected क्यों रखें community से? Why not share it with people living in NCR?
I was going to ask you, can I please come and
join? Of course you can. So that's when I requested the fellow community member to be part of the event and help and support in any which way they can, because obviously I was also new to doing an event and doing it in a larger manner, it was tough. But thank you to all the ladies who did every bit of support for Ghoomar Twirl with Grace. We managed to do it in Leela in 2016. And it was not just targeted to Rajput women. Whoever want to learn Ghoomar, have love for Rajput tradition, have love for Rajasthani food, they can be part of it.
And the jewelry.
Oh yes.
And the saris and the ghagras and everything. I'm such a big fan of Rajasthan myself.
So we made few rules for Ghoomar that there will be a dress code.
Of course.
That's the Rajasthani poshak you have to wear. And people were like, why will someone who's not Rajput and from Rajasthan will buy a traditional dress to be part of an event? डर था मन में कि शायद flop ना हो जाए event. But Bhagwati has been very kind with all of us. There were a lot of Enthu ladies who went out of their way to Jaipur to buy poshaks.
But they had to go all the way to Jaipur?
Yes, they did, you know.
Wow.
And they went to Chandni Chowk to buy jewelries. And we tried to manage few poshaks for them in Gurgaon. So, yes, and then they just don't want to attend the event. They wanted to dance also. They want to perform. So I was like, I'm ready to teach them. I've never done that in my life before. So for the first event, I taught around 40 to 45 ladies, which was so much fun. The kind of entho they had. जैसे होता ना कि ट्यूशन है तो टाइम पे आना है, टाइम पे जाना है. They all were there. And a lot of ladies meeting for the first time. And from then, today I see them becoming family. They're meeting every Friday, Saturday, and they've become best of friends. And that is the essence of Rajasthani culture, that you bring people and you celebrate life.
So nice.
And that's what Ghoomar is all about.
So nice. But tell me, of course I know that the Rajput culture, the Rajasthani culture is very close-knit.
Yeah.
I would say in brackets orthodox in some way. But for a woman to step out, also teach others, going to a hotel, is this all normal now? Is this something that you are stepping out of your comfort zone? How is
it? It was not normal, let me tell you. When we did event, we did get a lot of red flags from the community.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people were not happy with the idea that why we are doing the event. But when I tried to explain it to them, they get the essence of why we are doing it. Because a lot of people like me who is out of Rajasthan, they miss the opportunity to be part of the celebration. And why just keep this dance form selected to weddings and functions? Why not make it larger than life and make it an event where you don't have to wait for celebrations?
Yeah.
So that's when we announced the event. It was not easy, as I said earlier also, because when you plan it in a way that you focus and respect the event in a manner that you cannot go wrong when it comes to culture, when it comes to your heritage. So you have to do it in a manner that no one can object, and it is not open for all. You know, there were rules which we mentioned, so you have to follow. So वहाँ पे अपना आप deduct होते गए कि rules है, dress code है, there was ticket of course. So ticket was certain that not any person can be part of it. Only who want to enjoy the culture will be there. And we kept it in a manner where they have the love for the event.
Right.
And it was fun. It was not easy. 2016 से पहले सोशल मीडिया पे इवेंट्स नहीं थे घूमर से रिलेटेड कोई भी. बट व्हेन वी डिड, उसके बाद में एक मूवी भी आई जो घूमर के लिए काफ़ी चर्चित हुई थी, which was Padmavat.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a lot of objection for that. Because when you're doing a Ghoomar, it has to be done in a certain manner. But उसके बाद में बहुत सारी ladies, not just in Rajasthan, in MP, they started doing small events, small gatherings, and giving it a name of that it's a Ghoomar event or a get together of. उससे पहले इतने नहीं होते थे. So it was fun that ladies were coming out, they were gathering. Won't call it a kitty party, but yes, it was bringing culture together and enjoying and meeting new people.
Very nice, very nice. But tell me, now the generation which is coming after you, you also have a daughter who's stepping out. Are things changing, broadening in your community to let girls be, or they still have to follow a traditional method? Like I know even arranged marriage is something that is very still followed in some way. So are kids allowed to do love marriages? Are kids allowed to explore their own life, or how is it in the community then?
When it comes to are women allowed to go out, my grandmother used to play golf in Pushab, in Rajasthan attire.
Oh.
Yeah, she was married to an army officer.
In her traditional attire?
She used to. And she used to play with foreign ladies that time. Super. And they used to tell her that how can you play in that? She never used to speak English, उनको नहीं आती थी. And she used to say कि आपकी और मेरी ड्रेस में सिर्फ इतना अंतर है, आपकी नीज से ऊपर है, मेरी नीज से नीचे है. So it's about who you are. Doesn't matter where you come from.
So nice.
And that's what we believed in, and that's what it has been taught to us. And we are giving back to our next generation that doesn't matter where you come from. What you want to be, we are there. We are standing right behind you. So don't forget who you are. But at the same time, please don't forget your roots, because that's where you come from. And you have to stay connected. Otherwise, तो कोई अस्तित्व ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
And when it comes to arranged marriages, I feel happy and proud that we still follow that culture. We still have that history. We still have that bloodline that Yes, arranged marriages, and it's beautiful. Two unknown families coming together, and then it's connection for lifetime.
So these arranged marriages in these times when also kids are going out to study, and of course they probably might like somebody else, how is that taken in? Is it still okay or not okay at all? Or there's still a very lot of ladai jhagda and saying ये बिल्कुल नहीं है हमारे एकदम tradition से अलग है नहीं हो सकता, and then finally giving in because
there
kids
are a lot
have
of
decided.
parents who are open with the idea of kids choosing their life partner. You know, I believe now also with the work I do, kids also have a lot of saying when they choose their life partner. Earlier it was like parents ने जो choose किया है, you marry, and that's what it used to happen everywhere, not just in Rajput community. Other communities also follow that. But things are changing. Kids are more vocal. There is a lot of friendship between parents and kids, you know, when it comes to life decision. They all are on the same table when they're discussing about something like marriage. So it's not like if parents ने choose कर लिया and बच्चों को follow, they all talk about it. They meet the person and they talk and they discuss, and then they come to a conclusion that yes, we want to go further and take the next step.
Very good kids they are. All kids, please hear this.
But it's interesting, you know.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean, I am open with the idea if someone want to choose their life partner. But then if you are going against your parents and making them cry, even that is not right.
Well, I just think differently, and I think it's just about a matter of choice that
Absolutely.
everybody can go for, and because they need to live their life with the person.
True.
And not the parents. Of course, parents are there as a support system, we always have to be, but ultimately it's their life. Don't you think that, or does it conflict?
I have a different point of view. I mean,
Sure.
I have nothing against with kids who are getting married by their choice. There are a lot of kids in our community who are doing love marriage within the community. You know,
okay.
So parents are open with the idea that yes, but there are a lot of kids who are marrying out of their community. You know, and that's their personal choice. It's not like whether we support or not, that's a different choice, but it's their choice and they have to make it. I have nothing against anyone who is marrying outside community, but I believe if you have your culture and your history, I would like to follow that. So I don't know whether my kids will follow that or not, but I would love to believe that they'll follow it.
Okay, I just hope that they do then. You know, with you're stepping out also to work in a certain way because you have this online community, you're also stepping out. Were there things in the family that you had to face also internally to convince them to say that, you know, this is what I want to do? Because this is also, like you said, it wasn't normal for anybody to do this. So how did you feel that way, and did you face anything?
My community is very open-minded, let me tell you. I mean, people think that we are very orthodox. Partly, yes. Broadly, no. They are very open-minded. They are doing incredible work. I have girls in my family who are doing incredible work in their different fields. There are lawyers sitting in Supreme Court. There are a lot of sports person in my family. There are businesswomen in my family. So it's not like we've been asked to stay at home.
Okay.
We are very open, and we have always been supported by men in the family. You know, it's not just women, men in the family that do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But at the same time, we also feel it's our responsibility to manage, you know, what's good for us and what's our responsibility, and we follow that as well. So there was no hindrance in that.
Yeah, that's nice to know as well. It's a different perspective. This is literally the first time I have somebody discussing something very traditional and very close knit as a community. I normally, have a lot of people. We are in Gurgaon. I also talk to a lot of people who are outside the country, more international guests as well. Of course, such diverse views. So thank you for bringing in your view and sharing, a very important factor of how still cultures exist.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, because I think somewhere we are getting too modern as well. And
but if keeping in mind the culture, अगर राजपूत कम्युनिटी का कल्चर नहीं होता, इतनी मूवीज राजपूत ओरिएंटेड क्यों होती? They've been taking our culture, they've been following how we dress up, they've been following the way we celebrate our rituals, and they all are celebrating the same way. And it's not just Rajput community. There are a lot of communities who are still culturally rooted. गुड़गांव में आप देख लो, बहुत सारी community है, यहाँ पे celebrate करते हैं अपने functions, अपने festivals, and the way they do it authentically. I mean, there are no DJs involved, and it's fun to watch them.
Right. So what are the key things from your community that we can learn from? What is the core that when you are growing up you have understood as a life lesson कह सकते हैं, या the way that you have been brought up to expand your mind, conversations, etc. So what can we learn from your community?
Stay true to your soul and fear none. That's one basic thing our parents told us, that end of the day you are only answerable to your soul. So we follow that, and I tell my kids the same, that don't break anyone's trust. It's very important, and keeping in mind that we all live in Gurgaon, there are a lot of migrants from all over India, and we see different culture, different kind of background, and you get to meet a lot of people, incredible people, and you'll see a lot of happiness but a lot of sadness also. You get to experience both.
Absolutely.
And how you deal with it, with humility, with grace, that's the only thing which will take you ahead. And that's the important lesson we all learn.
Yeah. I also see that you are very spiritual as a person, and you also mentioned while I was talking about you, you mentioned Mahabhagwati.
Of course.
And tell us a little bit more about her.
Whatever I am because of her, and since childhood we all have our deity we follow. We all believe in her. We all follow our idols, be it Ganesh ji, Shiv ji, and we follow Bhagwati, Kshatriyon ke Devi Devtaon mein aate hain. And I believe in Deshnok Karni Mata. It's a deity near Bikaner, and which is also famous as Rat Temple. There are thousands of rat in that temple.
My God.
Yeah, and they
and
don't.
उसका क्या significance है?
So उसके पीछे एक स्टोरी है. देशनोक जो विलेज है वो चारण कम्युनिटी से होता है. देशनोक में सारे चारण समाज से लोग हैं. वहाँ पे कहा जाता है कि वहाँ पे अगर किसी की मृत्यु होती है तो उनको मोक्ष मिलता है. वो फिर एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ रैट दे टेक बर्थ, रीबर्थ. और जब रैट, इफ दैट रैट डाइज, दे टेक फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन. So उनकी जर्नी वैसे होती है. So I was speaking to one of the speakers who share stories about करनी माता. I asked कि इसमें भी अलग अलग होता है ना, कि हमें बोलते हैं कि हमारे कर्मा कैसे वर्क करते हैं. So इनके भी कर्मा अलग अलग वर्क करते हैं. If you have good karma, you will get to go near the deity की जो मूर्ति हैं उनके पास में.
अच्छा.
और आपके जो कर्मा अलग हैं तो आप मंदिर के एकदम गेट के आसपास में आप देखेंगे. पर गेट से बाहर कोई नहीं जाता रैट. इट विल बी सराउंडेड, एवरीवन विल बी इन द एंटायर डोमेन ऑफ द मंदिर. So we follow her since our childhood. She's very powerful. Whenever I feel low, I just close my eyes and I see her around.
So is there a proper ritual that you have to do? Is it every day, every month, or nothing? Or what is it that...
I don't pray daily. I mean, I don't sit and do puja subah sham. I just sit whenever I want. I do Navratra ki puja, subah sham. Other than that, I talk to her whenever I want. And that's my connection with her. And I believe whatever I am is because of her. And that's when Ghoomar also happened. So I always say it's her event. I'm just here to do it. Whenever she'll guide, I announce the event. So she's the one who tell us what dates we have to do. So we do that.
So how do you feel being born as a Rajput woman?
Oh, it's a blessing. Not everyone gets a chance to be born as a Rajput.
And why do you think so?
We are a warrior community. It is in our blood. Or this is what we have seen. I mean, our ancestors, we have a lot of history to read, and I feel blessed that I am born in a community where there's a lot to look forward to, a lot to get inspired from. So I'll be happy if I get birth again in the same community. It's a blessing.
So how much is education important for you? For Rajputs?
Very important for anyone. I mean, there's a difference between education and literate.
Yes.
So just reading doesn't,
make you educated, yes.
Yeah, so you have to get literate. You have to have a world view to understand what is happening around. And you have to evolve. Don't stick to your own ideas. So as a community also we are evolving. As a family also we are evolving. We are dropping the rituals which we think are not of any significance or where we think it can hurt anyone, So it's always important to evolve with time and bring in rituals which gives more happiness to people around and bring more people around.
Yeah. I see your power of networking anyway. You totally believe in it, right?
I do. I call myself HNI, High Individual Network. HIN. So, I believe in that. I strongly believe your network is your net worth. And that's why, and I always follow that.
And how important it is for women to be financially independent?
A lot. I mean, it's equally important for a couple to look after a house and share your responsibility. But at the same time, it is very important for your daughters, your mothers, your wife to make sure that they are working, they are professionally qualified, they are earning a little bit or more, that they don't have to look for men's approval to buy something.
Yes.
They should be powerful enough to take their own decision. It's very important.
And all women think like this? Or you still feel that in the the smaller places in Rajasthan are still coming out of it and women are still finding their feet?
There are women in villages, they are more inspiring than I meet people in Gurgaon.
Which is true. I
we cannot
work with a lot of SHG groups, the self-help groups, and I see, my God, the power of voice that they carry.
Yeah, maybe they don't get the right kind of platform to represent themselves, I would say. But if you meet them, if you talk to them, the kind of enthu they have, even if they have done one new thing, and the smile and the stories they have around that, it's very inspiring. So women are evolving everywhere. और ऐसा नहीं है कि शहर में रह के हम लोगों ने ज़्यादा कर लिया है. Probably we are more on social media, so people know us more. But there are women in Rajasthan or even across India, in smaller towns, they are doing work which we don't even have an idea. आजकल पद्मश्री और ये जो मिलते हैं, हम लोगों को नहीं पता है वो लेडीज़ क्या कर रही हैं, पर कितना बढ़िया काम कर रही हैं. Common women, they are doing incredible work.
Yeah. So how does your work help women in particular?
Not in particular, I would suggest, but the way I share about our culture and ritual, जैसे for example, if there is any ritual regarding to a wedding, right? We normally just do the ritual. जैसे आप यहाँ पे शादियों में अगर आपने मेहंदी का दस्तूर किया है तो आप लोग मेहंदी का दस्तूर कर लेंगे, डीजे बजा लेंगे, डांस कर लेंगे, एंड यू विल ड्रेस अप इन अ पर्टिकुलर अटायर, एवरीवन इन द सेम. बट व्हाट इज़ दैट दस्तूर ऑल अबाउट? करते क्यों हैं? देयर इज़ अ स्टोरी बिहाइंड एवरी रिचुअल. हिंदू रिचुअल में हर रिचुअल के पीछे एक स्टोरी होती है, कहानी होती है. हम लोग कोशिश नहीं करते हैं उस कहानी के बारे में जानने की, इसीलिए वो विलुप्त होते जा रहे हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई कॉल विलुप्त होते रीति रिवाज.
सही बात.
So I try and share those rituals, and when I share that, I cross-check with lot of women across Rajasthan and MP जहाँ पे similar kind of rituals हैं. कि आपके यहाँ पे कुछ अलग होता है, because राजस्थान में कहावत है कि every 30 kilometers में you'll see a different dialect.
Yes.
You know, so rituals भी उस हिसाब से change होता है. So I connect with
dialect, खाना,
everything,
रहना, सहना, कपड़ा, everything changes.
Yeah. So rituals also changes, but उस ritual के पीछे story क्या है? And that's important to share with the next generation, you know. हम लोग तो ठीक है, आधी लाइफ जी ली, आधी आगे और है. But how we share it with the next generation so that they can revive it, it's important. Just doing the ritual कि जैसे देखते आए हैं बस करते जाएं, उसके पीछे का मीनिंग क्या है वो भी तो जानना ज़रूरी है.
So this art form, let's say talk about Ghoomar now. So what is the story behind it?
The dance form?
Yes.
So it was initially it used to happen in a very very closed door. जनाना डोडी हम लोग जो बोलते हैं कि जहाँ पे हम लोग की शादियों में it's not a combined event for gents and ladies. We used to have a separate celebration. Gents का अलग पोर्शन होता है, ladies का अलग होता है. अब ladies मिलके बात करें तो क्या करें? ठीक है, तो
नहीं, हमारे पास बहुत बातें, गॉसिप तो हमारे पास बहुत होती है.
But to celebrate, you know, you need to dance also. You need to enjoy. So it started long back, but I'll just cut short to latest. What is that we gather, we perform Ghoomar, and that's what we have seen, be it solo or a group dance where everyone is teaching each other and they're celebrating, and every occasion we have different songs to follow. चाहे बच्चे पे हो, चाहे तीज त्योहार पे हो, चाहे गनगौर पे हो, होली दिवाली पे हो. सो ये हंसी मजाक में शेयर करने के लिए एक होता है ना, आप परफॉर्म कर लो, you enjoy that thing, and that's where Ghoomar started in Rajput community, that it's a way to celebrate life, and we followed that, and we've been there was no one to teach us Ghoomar. हम लोग देखते थे अपने मदर्स को, बुआओं को, उन्हीं से हमने सीखा. कोई हम लोग के यहाँ पे एजुकेशन नहीं होती है. आजकल फिर लोग ऑनलाइन सिखाने लगे हैं Ghoomar. There are a lot of platforms, lot of women, they're teaching Ghoomar, and the people are taking classes of Ghoomar. मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम 2016 में सिखाया, and it was fun experience. So
you started teaching in Gurgaon itself?
I only teach during events. I don't take classes. Otherwise, I only teach during our events 1 month, and what fun we have. Because जो राजपूत कम्युनिटीज़ है उनको सीखने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, because उन्होंने देखा है. But sharing it with people from other community, it's fun, because we have in our last event we had Punjabi doing dance, there were Muslim who were doing Ghoomar, there were Maharashtrian who were doing Ghoomar, and जब event वाला दिन आता है you cannot differentiate that who's Rajput and who's not, because जिस तरह से वो पोशाक, ज्वेलरी और सब पहनते हैं, it was very interesting, and it was a very very happy feeling for all of us.
So what have been the highlights of your life, being a Rajput, Rajasthani, traditional bound woman, trying to also do different things? What are the highlights?
There were a lot. You know, when I first moved to US, it was a tough thing for me, because I always lived in and around my family, and going to a place जहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं है. But then, thanks to Facebook, I created a community there.
अच्छा.
There were a lot of Rajputs there, and you get that confidence that यहाँ पे अपने लोग हैं. बिकॉज वो एक फीलिंग आती है ना कि आप किसी और के घर में जाके आप रह रहे हो, लिविंग इन अ डिफरेंट कंट्रीज लाइक दैट. एंड वहाँ पे व्हेन यू गेट टू मीट योर पीपल, कनेक्ट विद योर पीपल, you feel happy, but also it gives you a global perspective of learning. You learn a lot, and especially for a person like me, my vision has changed a lot after I traveled, and I think that was one of the biggest highlight that I got to learn a lot, meeting people from different countries altogether and learning a new way of living a life, you know, looking at life in a different perspective. That was one big change. And then of course having kids and learning life through their smiles and their eagerness to learn more, that also changed your perspective to look at life with responsibility. So you have stages of learning, but then of course Gadjor happened when I was in US.
Tell us a little bit more about what Gadjor is.
So Gadjor is a platform for Rajput community where we do alliances. As I said, in Rajputs we still follow matrimony as an arranged marriage.
Right.
So where we get to talk to parents, their kids, and bringing two unknown families together. There are times where obviously there are known families when you connect, and then bringing two unknown families together. That happened. That gave me a platform to connect community not just in Rajasthan but across the globe.
Wow.
So that changed my perspective that yes, social media is a beautiful platform and a very powerful platform. That changed a lot, and I understood the power of social media then. And then Ghoomar happened.
Wow. So what do you do to keep evolving for yourself?
I keep meeting new people. That helps me a lot to learn more. You know, last week we were about to meet, but we could not. But today, see, from last week to today,
I know, I
there's a
set
new-
up my studio.
That's evolving, that you wanted to do something and you did, you know, and that's about how focused and determined you are. That's a learning for me, that you have to be focused and you have to love what you do.
Yes. So
And every time I meet, I try and take something out of that meeting. And that helps. And
Right.
that helps to evolve.
very nice. So great. So this is a second act podcast. अब second act है, इतना ये नाम तो मतलब मुझे ही एनर्जी इतनी देता है, बट सबके अपने मीनिंग्स हैं. 100 जने से ज़्यादा आ चुके हैं इस पॉडकास्ट पे, और बिलीव यू मी एक भी आंसर सिमिलर नहीं है जब मैं उनसे पूछती हूँ व्हाट्स योर सेकंड एक्ट. So I'm very eagerly wanting to know, what does this name bring to you? What's your second act?
You know, in 2009, if I remember correct, we did a, what do you call it, donation drive for a family. And that time I was very new to social media.
Okay.
That entire journey of bringing families together to help one lady marry her 2 daughters, the donation drive, that was a changing chapter, I would say, in my life.
Wow.
Or a second act, that how powerful this tool of social media is.
Wow.
But at the same time, how responsible we all have to be to
absolutely.
use it fairly, you know.
nice.
That changed a lot for me, that people from Australia, America, or down south, they all came together to help a woman, you know, which she never thought she'll get.
Right.
That changed my perspective of kindness of strangers can come in any form.
Very nice. I think you did a TED talk on kindness of strangers,
Yes,
right?
I did. I
Yeah.
did. I still have goosebumps because when I spoke at that event, I got a lot of message from a lot of women. that they could relate to it, they could relate to the topic, that kindness of strangers is there, it exists, and it helps.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं. बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं. And I think, like you said, there's so much to learn from everybody, and I think that. But this is also what I've heard, you know, in one of the workshops that I attended. The trainer or the facilitator, you know, everybody was complimenting him all the time that you are amazing, you're powerful. And he used to make them stand and says, you know why I'm amazing? Because you are amazing.
Yeah.
So the power of kindness you can see because you are that person. So take that compliment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So thanks for sharing that. And this is a beautiful podcast. And I normally wrap up with some rapid fire questions. So here goes.
With no coffee?
With no coffee, with some beautiful flowers. So what's your favorite Rajasthani food?
Lal mas with bajre ki roti.
When can we have it?
Any day you want.
Okay. One life learning that you have got, which you remind yourself every now and then.
Don't trust anyone blindly.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
The power of kindness was there. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay. One thing that you want to talk about to the Rajasthani women, especially the Rajput women from your life, what would that be?
Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't think of pleasing everyone around. You are not a Rajma Chawal. You have to be yourself, and everyone will adjust.
And dance to you is?
It's my connection to Bhagwati.
Wow.
For me, Ghoomar is my devotion to her. Whenever I do that, I connect instantly with her.
Okay, that's so beautiful. Okay, one thing that you want to leave us with as a general message to everybody who's hearing you today and Discover Your Second Act podcast.
Learn every day. Life is beautiful. Don't keep too much of pressure of what people are saying. Just be you, and life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. Just be you. Totally what I believe in. So thanks, Tripti.
Thank you so much.
It was such a beautiful podcast, and thank you for sharing and sharing all about your culture and tradition.
Thank you so
much.
much.
There's so much more to learn, of course, but until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is yet another incredible episode of Discover Your Second Act. I'm hoping that as me, you are feeling very, very excited, enthusiastic and learned about all the nuggets that came out. So follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and of course, until next time, keep discovering your second act.